Rated Sandwichard. Bread!
Nice car. Perfect. Who do you think you are? I am.
June. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the Sandwichard experience. I was told, because I went to go take my dogs out, and then right before I was taking my dogs out, I hear, while I'm in the bathroom, right before I take the dogs out, hey, you got a 14-person rate. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to yell that while I'm in the bathroom. But regardless, I'm glad you're here. My Tamagotchi, hold on, I gotta get a shit out of my Tamagotchi. June.
It's free real estate.
I'm glad you're here, buddy. Sorry, there's probably a mishmash of music that was going on as well. I still need another minute. I wanted to like take my dogs out to like actually like, go to the bathroom. So I was getting ready to do that. I will be back in a little bit, if that's okay. You don't have to stick around, June, but I appreciate the fact that you came in today. I appreciate your presence. Let me give you a shouty as well before I move on to other stuff. One shout out. Is it Ayako? Yeah!
Thanks.
Who poses a question they already
Everybody
feel
go
strong
follow
about? You go
June,
to
by the
Richard
way.
Dawkins Reddit Academy. It's hot dogs, egg noodles, and tomato soup baked. Everyone in here has proven themselves to be monstrous, and so he's just being a toilet roll. Okay, got up. That was.
We're talking shit about Richard Dawkins. Okay. June is a great streamer. I love watching your show when I get a chance to. I'm glad you came in. I'm sorry you came in on a BRB. Once again, I will take my dogs out, but in the meantime, not to bombard you with extra, stuff to do. If you'd like a little more Sandwichard content between now and then, I mean, I guess also I didn't do my thing that I usually. Oh no. It's gonna get clipped and people are gonna think, oh man, Richard's gonna eat brains. Look!
His video content
is interesting at best. And by it, I mean, I want to suck your penis.
There's no P.
There's no P. Yes, yes. Bring on the PP. Can you give us an example of something that isn't a sandwich? You know the everything bagel? Imagine if there was nothing. Follow and subscribe today. This is gonna be your 9/11. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum.
It's free real estate.
Welcome back to the Sandwichard Experience. My name is Richard Sandwichard. You're joining us here tonight for a game called Of the Devil, which is like a, so far it's going to be like a Ace Attorney like, perhaps like a Danganronpa as well. Although I haven't really played those. Like I know of them. I don't know them. I have not played them personally. But this feels more like an Ace Attorney anyway. But like the art style, the character designs. Our character profiles. We got all these cool characters, all these great designs. Heartbreak Killer. We're still looking for him. Anyway, I will be right back. Like I said, I'm gonna take my dogs out. Don't touch that dial or you will not smile. You're on the Sandwichard Experience for the second time. Marp? 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 Use Marp in a sentence, HP. Use it in a sentence. That word was so bad I had to marp. You married a marp? Okay, we went two different directions on this one. You married a marp? What does marp stand for then? Yeah, it's an answer that you would give too. Okay. All right, HP, or Hoop is your real name. Pronounced Hoop. Masculine awesome raspberry person. Is Joe a raspberry person? This is a victim. 27-year-old agricultural genetics researcher for Perigee Laboratories. Raspberry spelled wrong on person? On purpose? On porpoise? HP would not put themselves as a jabroni. You're correct. Found shot through the heart in the bedroom of the apartment she shares with her prime suspect, Carlos Flat. Is his name supposed to be like a joke off of Flatline? If he's the heartbreak killer. The coat he was wearing, initial tests show blood on the left sleeve matches that of the victim. He has his left arm. Howe Industries 2085 mechanical limb boasts an impressive combination of grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. The success of it and its sister products went a long way towards securing state contracts for Howe Industries. A Calver M54 6-chambered 10mm revolver. Bears fingerprints matching Carlos Backer Flat's left hand with 99.91% certainty. Rifling marks match. Rifling marks match. Rifling marks match. From previous ones match. No matches to any other forensic data as far back as 2051. And this note that we were given. Tell me about you. Let's start simple. Something mundane, grounded, rote. I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like, what line of work are you in? I'm with city engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought, the police must have convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. Bongo, welcome. My arm. I got it slotted for the job. And Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. You're gonna derail things? This is a murder mystery. What do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work.
Sir, Bongo Turtles has requested you play this video.
Oh, you are derailing the
If it is
stream.
not good, I will cry.
Trotsky Burger, Gazebo!
Trotsky Burger Gazebo? Am I gonna get copyright struck for this? Hold on. I need to pause this music. Zoop. Uh-huh.
Trotsky Burger, gazebo.
Hold on. I skipped a little bit to make sure if I was gonna get copyright struck or not, but I'll listen to it. I'll cut this out if I have to. I hope they don't.
Before the Russian Revolution, a man from downtown Vladivostok made the #1 worldwide hamburger
Worldwide.
multinational holding. Here it is, offer you Trotsky Burger.
This is clearly like phonetically learned. And I love that. You go to Meat Man Town? Is this something like, what is this? Do I have more information on this? I need to understand what this is. I want information. Gazebo musician. The song I Like Chopin. They're Italian. Italian singer, songwriter, musician. Oh my god, there are so many ads. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon. Oh my goodness. Worked as a guitarist in London. Chose Gazebo because it sounded catchy and it was important for radio DJs at the time. Give me talk about Trotsky Burger. No mention of Trotsky Burger. God, that was covered in ads. I hate the internet. Trotsky Burger guaranteed new. Trotsky Burger gonna brainwash you. Fresh meat, all vitamins now, coming from Siberia, straight in your blood. French fries, Coca-Cola, wow, snow pies, vodka flavor, Vladivostok. Or Vladivostok. Vladivostok. You know what? Bongo, you knew this is right up my alley. Going to Siberia, straight to your blood. Straight to your blood. She dropped the burgers. You see that? Did you see that? Just drop the burgers on that cross. Watch. Right here. Right here. I don't know if he hits it out of her hands or what. I think she bumps into him. Hold on. Yeah. This is a flinch. She hits his arm as it's going forward because he has it back. And leaves the burger on stage for maybe the rest of the performance. Guaranteed new? He looks like half of the Bogdanov twins. Gazebo. Italian singer Gazebo. That was this is all backmasked. I wonder if it gives me what the lyrics were backwards. No, it doesn't. Maybe that's it. This feels like something my brain would have made up in a fever dream. And they just fade out and he just stops. Incredible. Absolutely remarkable. Thank you, Bongo, for sharing this delight with us. Thank you for clapping. I think that was something special. Bongo, you were correct. That was exactly what the Sandwichard experience was looking for. You know exactly what the Sandwichard experience is looking for. You've gotten it down. You send me the stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Bongo's gonna send me this, and I'm gonna be enraptured with this for 5 to 10 minutes, unless it happens to be one of the things I don't jive with. But you know, those are few and far between because I mean, everybody has taste, right? Not everybody's gonna like everything. But regardless, I like most of the stuff you sent, Bongo. Thank you. Thank you. You are correct. It's so far up my alley, it has already let itself into my building. I was living there rent-free and I didn't even know it yet. That arm must be in custody. Lifelike? I was wondering if it was gonna have like skin and stuff. They could do it for robots. Why can't they do it for people? With the fake skin and the faux hair and simulated blood flow? As if. I've seen his apartment. He's not that kind of spender. He's pragmatic, grounded, and cheap. Very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted a mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out. Whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades they'd afford him. And came his 18th birthday present. Test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like, he was glad that he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah. I think it does. I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye. Test the water. Saves because I got chills. That is... Test the water. An eye or a hand. You know, I have said that instead of LASIK surgery, I'd rather get robot eyes. Never thought about lopping my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, because of the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. Sits up in my chair. Morgan, you're making the same comments that I would, but to yourself. I guess this is what I'm gonna have to do from now on. I work the tighter spaces, the high volt environments, most of canopy upkeep. Low rung, bottom of the barrel kind of worker, maintenance guy, keeping the upper crust. Here. Typical stuff for modders, you know? He's speaking freely now. Don't need me to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. The right word choice here or there can still make a difference. You work on the canopy? You must be... under a lot of pressure. Is this one correct? You must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are cordoned off. How different bits of things you can read can lead to unlocking other parts of conversation as long as you've been thorough. Damn straight, and this crap with Long, once word got out of the case against him was real, every desk job on the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that Eternal Affairs is going to come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Yeah, and no patience for screw-ups. He's trying very hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that rejection issues starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection. Did the therapy not take? Mod therapy. We have a number of items to read through. Digital autopsies, we saw what that was. Grave cobbling, how to stop stolen identity, how to delete dead profile. Jesus. Net scrubbing, the ability to take things off of the net within a certain time frame. Senator Bancroft's position is a key pillar of the party's law and order platform, but pollings indicated voters rarely held a strong enough opinion on the process. Topic has since faded from political discourse. Mods, body mods, body mods. Can you return mods? Can you undo mod surgery? Best reviewed neural implants 2086. Body modifications is a term that may refer to cybernetic prosthetics, artificial implants, neural enhancements, or any combination of the above. While body modifications have been seen throughout history and across a wide range of cultures, the modern body modification movement is differentiated by a shift from intrinsic factors, expression, or identity to extrinsic motivators, job opportunities, technological benefits, improvements in physical or mental ability. Oh, God. Why are you going to hire a regular guy? Why not hire the guy who's desperate and you can pay him a little less because he needs to pay off the robot arm too? He'll be able to lift 10 times the weight and you can pay him the cost of one guy. Fuck. Historically, mods have been classified based on which section of the user's spinal cord the interfacing occurs at. Thoracic, lumbar, or cervical. Oh. This system does not account for mods that inherently interact directly with the human brain. I couldn't read that. The increased prevalence of so-called above-the-neck modding in recent years has led to several corporations and medical organizations proposing their own new classification systems, but so far, none have gained much traction. You return mods, can you undo mod surgery, etc. Calver. The pistol. Bought out by Thortec, Block Gun Defense Corporation. Once iconic brand was briefly revived in 2071 Q2 when a series of video game memorabilia tie-in promotions meant to increase the in-game item sales before it being discontinued in Q3 for failing to increase in-game item sales. Heartbreak Killer. Can't click that. Hey there, looks like you're trying to search for a term related to an ongoing investigation. They have information locked down. The public cannot get a lot of information on this. Until authorities have made their findings public, results may be heavily curated or temporarily unavailable. They control exactly what goes out, but everybody's able to connect to an internet. We can't read that. Optics. This is the opt-in crime surveillance system. Free sharing of surveillance and security data to better promote and preserve public safety. This seems like we're living under Big Brother. Well, they said it early, but it does. The process of adjusting the human mind and body for the unique challenges and stresses that come with cybernetic body modifications. Typically, it includes physical therapy, mental technique instruction, and sensitivity training. He's been out of this for a minute, too. And how long does it take for you to recover before you're able to work? After you get one of these that they talk you into. Do they guarantee you the job after they give you this thing? Or do they say, get it, and then we'll put you in the pool? Ugh. Depending on an individual's viability or lack thereof, medications and minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response, but improvements made in recent years in medically sterile alloys have greatly reduced the percentage of patients that require such treatment. Okay. It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. Those cuts on his face are just from shaving. Never thought this would go on so long. I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, then spasms. Just oversensitivity, they said. An easy fix. The problem got bigger? Couldn't let it get that far. You need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on a job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where'd you turn it in? Some mass turn around and chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't. Doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no. I found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times, as long as I'm renting and not owning. That just made me physically sick. You don't even own the piece attached to your body. Manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. Most impressive grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. The success of its sister products, yes. Submitted 5 weeks ago at a How Partner Prosthetic Adjustment Clinic due to user-reported sensitivity issues. Waitlist duration of 40 business days. 5 weeks ago is almost that time. That's why I'm sitting here with this expensive-ass stump for a shoulder. I've been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I got 2 working arms again. "25 business days? Fuck, you're right. They don't do things on the weekends. They couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state. They've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight." Hindi? How Industries? How Industries is the world leader in research, development, manufacturing, and the fitting of cybernetic prosthetics for use, and we're hiring. They're hiring. Get a premium account to get more. Yeah. As I recall, he's registered with one of their habilis models. If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fit. I'd lose every down payment and my arm, and I'd never work in this city again. That was my last quarter. Maybe I could have worked something out in management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that longs in deep hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Luck, poor, student debt sizable, favorite flower, poppy. Dislikes cabs, musicals, and cashews. Likes airports, worn shoes, and firm beds. Huh. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that'll kill you. Yep. I mean, not that I understand, but like shingles is still like, you know, I'm getting over it. The itches, it does itch spontaneously. The phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Phantom pains. Stimuli stops coming from a part of the body that is no longer there. The areas of the nervous system that were previously devoted to processing those sensations reconfigure themselves to still be of use. Occasionally, the brain mistakes its new sensory processes as still being associated with pain or sensation from the amputated limb. Because of the large mental elements at play, therapy for phantom pain reduction necessarily involves psychological conditioning and often the use of prosthetics. Phantom pain has become more widely experienced and understood as a result of the spread of the body modification movement. Debate over whether the modern scene has increased or decreased public empathy for amputees and the disabled remains contentious. Phantom visions are caused by faulty insulation on cybernetic eye mods, ensuring periodic electrical discharge across the retina. So, is my arm haunted? Armor shaped, attached to me. I'm gonna give you something for, well, wear in the meantime. Something in the clinics lent out for cases like this. What they gave me is a dead weight, 3-jointed landfill bait piece of shit. Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling of a part of your body that they cut corners on. It fits. It's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. The fingers don't even bend. The quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep. Or dead. So you're wearing it when you were arrested? Were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging his evidence, so can't have gotten too far. Detective Graves was being quite literal of how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm only because at the time in question, he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected. This has been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. Oh yeah. Affordable model. Customers frequently cite issues with finger articulation and quick twitch movements. Records show Carlos Flat was provided this model while the habilis was being repaired, but he claims to rarely wear it. Oh. Oh, wait. Terms? Another one? No. Holograms? What was this updated? You were romantically involved with this victim. How long did you know each other? Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never really asked her out in the real formal way. That was pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics. Focused her studies on agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out of the gate. Practically headhunted. You believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company'd be lucky to have her on, like... It was a real-ass job. Paid real-ass money, too. Her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours had fallen to the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree? No. Perigee Laboratories. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That doesn't narrow it down. Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn of the entire country. Line that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Well, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting. But Harco is about as tame as big businesses can get. Predictable like the seasons. No one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Ah. Had she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah. They loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes. Corporate politics getting rough. I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. There's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift some blame onto. No, they're suspects, so I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. How? Was very helpful. It was. Now I'd like you to try and tell me about whatever you can about what happened tonight. Oh. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important. All right, Miss Morgan. I'll try Morgan. When you're done, or when you're ready, we were arguing. We've been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working. I haven't been making money. I haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. More than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. The reports say we were arguing around 8 p.m. 8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed a line and we both knew it, so I left. You left? Yeah. I fucking knew it. Walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air would help me cool off. How did they not listen? Like, did the cops not talk to? I guess the cops didn't talk to him. I mean, this guy's smart, not talking to any cops, by the way. Only talking to the lawyers. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. Good job, Flat. Not talking to the cops. Don't talk to cops. Don't tell them anything until your lawyer gets here. And even then, don't tell them anything. Tell the lawyer. I had to help figure out what to say to make up for her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh. Just humid. Thick like mud. And while I was pissing away at the time, Diane was... Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics? No. I kind of stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. With optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves. Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? May have met my match. How could anyone be this unlucky? Huh. I just wanted quiet at the time. I wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details quite right. My head is... If my exact route would help, the cam's probably... What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen? There's no other proof you were out the time Diane was killed. Meaning, you got no alibi. This can't... Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't... Carlos, I am the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we got to work with. Morgan's a good lawyer. You said you left to clear your head. What made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. I didn't know what it was. But it was loud and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first. But at some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. I saw that the front door was open. Something dropped in my chest and My lungs wouldn't... You live in the first floor, right? Yeah. First floor apartment. Street facing entrance. You were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. I like having a first floor apartment. It is nice. It feels like a big deal. In the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought she was... The lights were off, but the whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed or she'd fallen or... There was broken glass. Broken glass. Furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name and she didn't move. Yep. Yep. Getting in on this one. I checked her pulse. She was still warm. Her blood was still warm. And I saw the gun. He saw the gun. Did... There are no fingerprints on this until he touched it. So he grabbed it like an idiot. It looks so heavy. But I thought I had to be a fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Pick it up? What? He didn't touch it? I didn't shoot her, damn it. Doing what I do. You hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies. Bad lies, especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie. It'd be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. None of this works if he doesn't trust me. Okay. It does have his prints on it. Wait. I think the cop... I still think the cops fudged it. What? But I didn't do this. I wasn't thinking. I just... Carlos. All I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun. Not in a way that would satisfy the police. All I did was hold the gun. Being in my own home right in front of... You weren't shot, Carlos. You still are. The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast, seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane. You said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight? What? No. We never fought like that. Did the police say we did? Huh. They assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. So that's why the expensive vase isn't broken. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume? A lot. I'd like you to look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR model built from the data taken from the police entered, so... Right, it's just that... Just data. Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see it. Take your time. All right, I think I got it. That's how the police found things. Close your eyes and think back to the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. All right. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. Well, the mirror was upright, of course. And the clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, the bed got tossed, the cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that... Sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so? Did you... What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. It's just, I guess I assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR? Well, I suppose that works too. Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Let's take our evidence. I didn't see a bed or cushions, but... Letter? What do you mean? I mean, this letter here, do you recognize it? The police are calling it a confession. A confession? This is just a note to self. Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper. Say things I don't mean to. So this morning, I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them? That's... I broke her fidget tubbies. Or what? Or what? Her fidget tubbies. I thought I saw those before. These collectible ceramic character things. They're supposed to be like tactile. Use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters. She loved these little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale. They meant a lot to her. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging half the time. Got so angry I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless... Okay, let's say he did break her frigid duckies. frigid duckies. Victim's personal collection was pulverized by Carlos Flat's replacement prosthetic arm the morning of the murder. Discarded it in frustration after smashing into the victim's collectibles. Wasn't worn it since. Fidget Tubbies. The Fidget Tubbies drink. These things. The Frigiduckies. What does that change? What does that change? Nothing at the moment. Not enough detail in the note for me to prove his intent was when he sat to write it down. The police insist on claiming it's a confession for the heartbreak killings anyway. I couldn't even bother to sweep them up. I felt so... Alright, Carlos. Thank you for answering my questions. He just was going on and on about the Fidget Tubbies. The Fidget Tubbies? I already forgot them. I'm gonna call the police back in here and I'm gonna get this cleaned up for you. That's it? That's it? Oh. Okay. Although before I do that, I do have to ask, what do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Heartbreak? You mean that psycho who was trending all month? I mean... as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but... I'm sure everyone's on edge. A guy like that out there. Shoots people through the heart, right? Police have kept the victims' appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that's just... that doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow on the uptake, it's gonna be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. It got dark. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. 4:04 a.m. June 5th, 2086. Start our timeline off. I didn't realize you could smoke in here. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee. I guess so. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right. I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It'll be my first homicide defense, though. Oh. Why does everyone think the first time's so goddamn important? No, she's just a lawyer. Morgan rocks, honestly. Like, so far, Morgan's great. This is a good character. I really like Morgan. Yeah, you can do anything you want. For a fee. I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh. What areas are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? What is this? No, ma'am, I never go anywhere near loot boxes. Yeah! Won't touch the stuff. I mean, more like playing cards. Oh. Well, go to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. So, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. Okay. So, you have a good poker face? I like to think so. And are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker, and the state's the dealer? If only. No, the state's more like the house. You mean like the house always wins? Yeah. Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. So what do? We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up and eventually someone will come over, tap the dealer on the shoulder, and whisper something in their ear, and then we'll be politely asked to leave. Oh. Oh. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. I guess I was more asking, what should I say? New Vegas mention. Just leave all the talking to me. That's the strategy? What's up? You know, there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo, ready to confess yet? Because I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. District attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair, since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing.
Oriogenesis! Whoa!
You're gonna cut all the sleeves off of your shirt?
Dinner.
Oh.
Bread!
Do you know that protein? Are you gonna eat salads every night? I'm happy with that. I like me a salad. Bigger bed. Bread backslash? You get to have bread come to you. That sounds nice. For 2 months, I could eat that. They all just like having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then, you'll have to call them back. My client is not guilty. And frankly, Red. I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right. What she said. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time, kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocent, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession. Let's start there. Okay, we'll be happy to. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts, what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. Pretty simple, counselor. Real paint by numbers stuff. We found a note in his apartment. His fingerprints on it, apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. How are you planning on spinning that? Those are the facts. I've been building up my hand all night. Now I got the weapons to answer anything they try to throw at me. My client did write that note. And it was an apology. But not for murder. He was apologizing for... Oh! Oh! Oh, this fucks! Some debris. Oh! That's why they couldn't understand what the ceramic crap was! He was simply apologizing for this. What the hell is that? I found myself asking the same exact question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? This diagram of the room, it's created from data you captured, right? Pure, non-GMO, augmented reality crime scene data. Yeah. What's non-GMO? Not much these days. Notice anything out of place? Yeah, the whole room's busted shit. It's a scene of a murder. Full of busted shit, for sure. Do you have a dishwasher? I was referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. Understandable. Have fun washing your pots and or pans. That's my least favorite. When I've got stuff stuck on all my pans, I have to clean them so I can cook the next day. Pots and or pans, depending on what you're using to cook with. I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from the vase that got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Because that vase wasn't damaged. It's not possible for that debris to come into contact with the vase. That vase is still pristine. Ooh. I hope it tasted good. That's can you imagine that the taste of the ages on the wok? Oh, in banana bread. Oh my goodness. Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, get some wok hay on that banana bread. Can you imagine you're mixing it and just you're cooking it on the stove? How's that possible? I don't know. Hello. The lady at the garage sale told me it was so cold and so old and delicate. Damn it! The one time I tried thrift shop on my own. What the hell? What does it even matter? If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it, The debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote that apology over. You're saying the confession was his apology for not vacuuming? I am. There's a pile of rubbish is all that remains of the victim's collection of Fidget Tubbies. What he said. Good little cut-in for that. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident, and this impassioned note to self was his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that? We're taking this seriously, as much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement my client wrote the note. We can all plainly see there's ceramic debris at the crime scene. Since it couldn't come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Simple, right? What the hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed. The arcs clearly shows. The Fidget Tubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle too. You really gonna claim you sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? No, because if that happened in the morning, some kind of capture would have known that that was done hours prior. Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that, and there's proof. In police custody? Linked to 5 of the crimes? Hang on. I think it's he destroyed it with the rental, right? Just a closer look at the rental you took into custody. One swipe of the finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the fickle buddy ecosystem. It's Fidget Tubbies. She likes the Fidget Tubbies. She likes the Fidget Tubbies. She's a fan. Whatever. You did take it into custody. I'm sure your text found ceramic debris on it, yes. Now that you mention it. Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm while he was killing her. Happy, overjoyed, because even a cheap arm's got an operating system that logged the last time it was worn, right? Right. Admin usage the AM. What side are you on, old man? Got pretty late. Sunshine. I'm just trying to save us all some time where I can. Thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service. Good. You'll trade this streak to live in her hair? AJ, do I have a picture of you? Look how scrawled, how panicked that note is. You expect me to believe he was upset over a Fidget Tubby collection? One that hasn't even been graded? Morgan. Setting aside Detective Ray's surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles. You're correct. They held no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss. So what? So what? After all, it's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that no looks that way is because Carlos is right-handed. Yeah, I am. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something? The reason why that note looks like an asylum wall scribble is just because he had to use his left hand to write it. I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it would be good practice. Taking that into account alongside the ceramics, your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established your client's remorseless. Now let's get back to the reality of this situation. Here are the facts. We found your client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to a big old goddamn gun. that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. That coat is, we're gonna complain, the coat is not his. He actually wears an extra small. She's trying to bait me. She's trying to bait me. In her typical low-key fashion. She must have something. No sense playing into it. Something you'd like to ask me, detective? I'm just curious. What'll it be next? You're gonna tell me he actually wears an extra small? What the hell is this? He doesn't wear an extra small. I just got the bit. This is the justice blinds. He doesn't wear an extra small. Gee, Carlos, do you? No. Yeah, sure, there's no evil twin you're forgotten to mention? There's no evil twin. I'm afraid not. Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime? Prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. But going there now without hard evidence... Can I prove a third party? I think I can. I think I can with this statement, but if I need to prove it, he left. If I can get the evidence in that he had left the place between the time, no, that's not an alibi. You know what? I mean, I can just make a save here and see if I can do it. Let's raise! I'm quite confident my client isn't guilty, so there must have been a third individual at some point. That's cute. One problem is, the ARC showed plain as day there's no evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. Oh. Okay. That's what happens if I pick wrong. I lose. I lost my raise. Okay. No evidence of a third person at this time. Damn right you don't. Clear as day in the ARCs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. Keep dreaming. Yeah, no ping or anything I saw. It was obvious she had something there. I wasn't going to win that hand either way. But I saw the ARCs data and I went, I got nothing, yeah. But I wanted to see. That's the difference between taking it if you have information or not. Will they let you? I guess I'll find out. At least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene, which was not smart. Hey, but not illegal either. That's all? He had their blood all over his clothes. Yes, he did. Right. You have those clothes on hand, by the way? The lad finished with them a while ago. What are you getting at? It'll be easier just to show you. Would you mind getting them for me? You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. Stinks of bullshit in here anyway. Here, I thought the room smelled like... Psst, Morgan. What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood. I remember that much. Doesn't it make me look really bad? Just relax, Carlos. I'm pretty sure that's impossible. You're innocent. That means having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you. Really? Not really. Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck or bad lawyers. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing. Huh. What was it that reminded me of? Here it is. One bloodstained jacket fresh from the lab. What's your angle? You gonna tell us this is actually just hot sauce? No. That would be silly. She actually thought it over. She did. What the hell's your point? Hey, sorry. Just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune. What good fortune? You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proven your innocence. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing that at the time of the murder. It is the victim's blood on it, who we all know died when she was shot in the heart by a gun that happens to be an old-world pre-tagging firearm. And this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be the key here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can... You would smell gunpowder on the jacket. You would smell gunpowder. I had to think about that for a second. I was like, see? No. No, smell, of course. Tell me what you smell. I don't smell anything except dried blood. Exactly. The coat smells like blood, but doesn't smell of cigarette. That's what I've been smelling. See, I had already said... Like, the blood splatter doesn't make sense for him to be covered in it if it was just standing there, you know, in the doorway. Yes, Detective London, I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation? I've been listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket? If you would. Let's see. Huh. No gunpowder. What? What about gunpowder? Ah, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time. You can't be more than a few years older than me, but not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder's weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring. When it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence. The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms like the ones we carry use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue. Gunpowder residue. You talked my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces, but a revolver like this one, it would leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days. So then this coat. If you don't trust your noses, you can check the lab reports. If any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. Well, whatever. That just means he washed off after shooting her. He changed his clothes. That's not impossible, but it would be pretty pointless. Huh? His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when your officers found him. Would he really go through all the effort to get rid of something as subtle as powder residue just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards? In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you consider the charges Mr. Flat is facing as soon as possible. Whoa. They're faltering now. Should topple over any minute. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them. That gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. If it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit things were dicey there at times. Once I was able to grasp the situation, the smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say... Did she get a message? Huh. Wait, did they actually manage to find it? Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? You're good. Twisting the truth into knots. Making the facts work for you. It's possible. Your luck just ran out, because the net scrubbers found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting. Right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer. Want to bet? Want to bet? A photo of the shooter? If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking. I doubt she's pulling this out of her ass. She got something from the scrubbers. Fascinating. She must be bluffing. She must have something. I did just save it. I'm double saving it because of course I will. I'm gonna raise. It's a bold bluff this late in the game, Detective. Especially when we both know that there was an optics blackout during the shooting. That's just it. This isn't from optics. Okay. Okay. New information can change the way that it goes, no matter what. I'm not sure I follow, Detective. Did we establish that there was an optics blackout during the shooting? Sure there was. This isn't from optics. Oh. I'll get hurt no matter what. Alright. Good thing I held my tongue. As I thought, the scrubbers must have managed to dig something up from outside the network. Which means... Party's over, counselor. What is this? Well. Okay. Quality is lacking. And yet, there it is. They managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in a whole city block of haystacks. What are the goddamn chances? Now, with the scale of the schools I operate on, I guess the chances are always in their favor. It sure is convenient that you can't tell if that guy has a left arm. Can I look at the clock again? Good even say I got lucky, which means the stakes are... Well, it's a little bit blurry. Don't look at me, I didn't take the damn thing. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone, probably venting about how crazy the couple across the way was acting. If their phone was on, their camera would be on. We managed to get this shot through the window. Where to begin? far away, unfocused, ultra low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century. There are tools that can enhance the image any further, and I can count the pixels on one hand. You can kiss the admissibility in court goodbye. You can't honestly claim you can identify my client from this image. There's no way in hell you can get this past a judge. Yeah, you're probably right. We couldn't. I think I know a DA that could. Either way, seems like your client's leaving this police station. Doesn't seem like he's leaving this police station anytime soon. A photo. What the hell is happening to me? You think I know a DA that could? Don't be so modest, old man. We have the photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. Who do we know that had their left-hand fingerprints? It's a mirror shot. This is the mirror. No, that's 9 o'clock. It's not in the mirror. Wait. It's possible that could be in the mirror. You're referring to my client. You think? We've established he wasn't wearing his modded arm at all tonight, so he must have shot with his left. We've also established he's weak with his left side. Left side that had no gunpowder whatsoever. Forensics never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we'll miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain, and when you finally get to where you're going, you somehow end up dry. I would say it's a backwards photo entirely if it was pointed towards 3, but I think it has to be in the mirror. I think she didn't draw the room correctly. That doesn't mean it didn't rain. All of which to say, before judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is. That photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent, and that photo is real. If both are true, that means the photo doesn't show what it appears to show. At a loss for words? Never. I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from, exactly? Positional data is only usually accurate to the nearest public router. We DM'd on the phone's owner and asked him where. Why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tells us the perp shot from the room's doorway. Front entrance to the apartment faces to the south, and there's a hallway that runs to the back of the bedroom. Where's the clock in this picture? We're looking straight at the shooter. Mirror. Yeah, the mirror fell down. If that's the clock there. If this is the clock here, up next to where the mirror is. Okay, hold on. From the north? This is from the north. Then why can we clearly see? It's not complicated. The neighbor who's got the shot must live on the other side of the street. We're looking into the bedroom from the north window. If she's wrong, I should seize on the opportunity to start turning the tide. Through the window. Yeah, not the north side. That's from the west side. The mirror. I'm saving, but I believe it's the mirror. I'm afraid that's simply not possible. This photo has had to be taken from the west. What kind of bluff is that supposed to be? Pan, welcome. You good detectives are misformed here, and I need to take good advantage of it. Time to press the initiative. Ah!
Man, thank you for joining.
What do you mean this is taken from the west? The autopsy tells us the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer's ARC data tells the precise location of everything in this room at the time they arrived. And now your photo has shown us the exact moment of the shooting. And all that together tells us the photo must have been taken through the west window. As long as you consider... this one! Take a look at the clock in that photo! The clock? What about it? The clock, huh? Seems like London's got an idea. If he's mistaken, I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high. This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... But don't tell me the time of death is wrong. I think the time of death is correct. But the answer is no. Autopsy, the clock, and the neighbors all agree the time of death was 9 p.m. I knew that. There's no mistaking that. What the hell are you on about? It's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it reads 9 o'clock. 9 p.m. the time of the shooting. What the hell's so special about that? Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time the clock reads. But do you remember there being a clock in the room? What? Actually, I don't recall there being a clock. It makes sense. You wouldn't recall seeing a clock. Because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor. And the only clock in that room is in the northeastern corner. My client has informed me before the crime, it was hung up on the wall, eastern wall, like so. The hell's that supposed to be? A drawing, an artistic rendition. It's, very distinct. You had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting. Why didn't you just add that to the arcs? And show you my hands? Just because discovery law compels us to share info doesn't mean we have to play fair, detective. Slipped my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is that clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred. This photo must be looking through the western window to see it. Don't start getting ahead of yourself. We're still doing combat. We're fighting with worms. The victim was shot at 9 p.m., the same time this photo was taken of the shooter. But you want to claim the clock's still on the eastern wall, which would have been knocked down during the fighting. You got your logic backwards, detective. Your precious photo shows the room was pristine at the time of shooting. There's one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the cards fell. The glass. The vase. Hold on, wait. Take another look at the vase from the crime scene. Cheap, durable, and damn near spotless. So what? It's not like there's a timestamp showing us when it fell over. Oh. Okay. I was gonna say, but no, I guess there wouldn't be. So the exact when the room got tossed, I need to present... I guess the glass? Let's give it a go. Nothing much, really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body. Oh! That's right. Yes. Yes, they're on top. Yes. That they kept saying onto, and I thought that was strange. Yes. It kept saying onto, and I was thinking, why are they saying that? They didn't like stab into the victim. I kept thinking that every time. But yeah, the glass fell on top of the body afterwards. Not under it. The glass fell on top of the victim's body. That would mean she was dead on the ground before the room got trashed. Doesn't make any sense. Why did anyone trash the room afterwards? It's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, it's the detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, not us. Tell me, detectives, were there any signs of a struggle at any other crime scenes? Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. What did you think when you saw the mess in the bedroom? This was personal and things had gotten complicated. Shit happens. Shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened. So what if the room didn't get tossed over until afterwards? He still shot her. We have a photo right here. And I'm glad you do, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. Proving it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult. Maybe more importantly for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can set it prove that it couldn't be my client who pulled the trigger, because the man in the photo couldn't have possibly be Carlos. Like hell it can't. The glass shards prove the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. We all know the room was tossed and the clock was on the eastern wall, which means the photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Back to this shit. This is impossible. The only hallway to the apartment runs from north to south. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. The only fact that matters is he used it to murder 6 innocent people. You're a very honest person, detective. Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. You played with your cards too early. Now I can steal the pot right out from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation. You're right about the prints. This HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But we aren't looking at the hallway in that photo. What? What we're seeing is... we should be seeing the mirror, right? I'm gonna save it. Because of course I am. Those things. I'm gonna do it and see what happens. Hold on. The fidget tubbies? Slip of the tongue. Do I even need to say anything? I still think it's the mirror. Tried the glass shards again? Sort of. By the way, do you recall whose glass shard, where those glass shards came from? They came from a standing mirror. The mirror at the time of the shooting stood across the room of the western window. Then that would mean, at that angle, from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. So we're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks. He hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad that it was recovered, as it just proved my client couldn't have possibly committed this crime. I will, Pan. Thank you for stopping by. That should be the end of it. Except it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Sunk cost has got its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever, the impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But lucky for you, detective, I'm well versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary, my client's so-called confession was a note to self. The police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically could not have fired. After being confronted with these facts, you received the photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting, and instead of utilizing said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to claim it depicted my client, a man without the requisite limb, standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming. This kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late. Time to bare my fangs. A bit. That's the best you've got. Even a bare bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. he'd have to bring it to the clinic, which would have left a record on his shoulder OS, a record you won't find, and he's thought to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of a violent crime calls for full spectrum scanning the entire building and 100 meters around it, minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did he manage to hide his cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? Well, any objections? Detective? God. Damn it! Yeah! I got her to fold. Give me your hand, Flat. You're uncuffing me? In light of the innocent evidence, we have no reason to hold you. Now, I gotta call the DA. And tell her I made a mistake. Not we made a mistake, huh? Listen, kid. You should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought. But hey, the attorney's a real tiger, and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah. That's kind of you to say, Detective. My work is its own reward. Huh. Sure. I feel the exact same, counselor. What happens now? I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal. There's still some paperwork we'll need to go through. But basically, you're free to go. Congrats! You get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Yay? What am I supposed to do? The detectives will continue their investigation. Their investigation into heartbreak, huh? Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with your examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements. No. That's not what I... Diane being gone is bad enough. A serial killer? It's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore. People die of the flu all the time, but I know what you mean. I can't make sense of it. What am I supposed to do? Hell if I know. There's some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors. No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself. Try and convince them I didn't. You saved me. Thank you. You're welcome, Carlos, but it's my job to... No. I mean, thank you for not asking. For not asking if I killed her. Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all. Yes! 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 I knew there was something fucked up with her! Oh my god! Oh! Oh! I'm foaming at the mouth. And that's why she was so close to the scene of the crime? She was first on the scene. She is she addicted to winning? She's so addicted to winning, she's making murders for herself to solve? Solve or get away with? Like I knew there was I knew it. Does she even have red hair? Heart's always in the same place. Easy to find, hard to miss. The blood's always different. A flowering stain unfurling towards an invisible sun. Perfectly unique bloom. Only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with a singular universal meaning. Vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite the end. But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of low-brow appeal. 8:59, June 4th, 2086. You are fucking kidding me. Well, I bought episode 1. What say I play this over Easter? Huh? Huh? How I'm seeing if I can get a 4-day weekend. It's useless to me now, may as well leave it. She didn't even have an attachment to the gun! It was like a waste, but whatever. Wait. Now, there was a joke in here about murdering your sisters. I'm not sure if they're separate people or they are the exact same yet. I don't know what this is going to be about going forward yet. This is fucking incredible. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Cybernetic Susurrus, thank you for tuning in here tonight. Holy shit. The eyes. The fucking eyes. That's how you tell the difference. Heartbreak's eyes are dark. He's right about Mapo tofu. I should have some Mapo tofu. Cannot carry a tune. goes absolutely fucking feral over Morgan of the Devil, best video game protagonist of 2025. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I can sell an untagged gun for a fair bit of cash, but cash can't buy you peace of mind. Don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around in the dark here, must have only been able to see my silhouette. She think I was her boyfriend back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey, did you hear that? These old pieces are so goddamn loud. If people aren't familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably roused half the neighborhood. Didn't see anything I could use as a partial suppressor on the way in. Do they really not afford some throw pillows? I used the other 5 bullets in outdoor spaces and small spheres of blind opportunity the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places, usually full of trash. This room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean organized, even. Corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except there's shit on the floor. By the window, there's broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. I kick over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5 perfect crime scenes. Each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on, and a final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner ruining everything! I kick the wall. Something falls from it. Probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss over the chair, knock the urn, tear into the sheets with my frustration, and try to savor the shredding. If I can't be clean, I'll just have to lean to the messy angle. At least, it'll be consistent. This is all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not even the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down in single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? All the threads and breakdowns and goddamn theory crafting, all for the heartbreak killer. It's like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no. That's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. Love Morgan be like, wow, why is everyone obsessed with my serial killings? It's literally not a big deal. Mind your own business. Why can't she just do what makes her happy? He's got some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who just shot 6 people because... well, I'm sure people will come up with something. I love that that difference between like that harsh red that was in her hair compared to like this pink that's here now. It's really good. He got rejected one too many times or whatever. Me, I killed those people because I saw them and I wanted to. I've killed a lot more than just 6. At least the room is thoroughly trashed now. If I just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it would have irritated me to no end. Now that it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. The air is waiting tonight. Thick. Energized. A heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off when the steam lingers. Yeah. It's always most comfortable right afterwards. But there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that. But I do know I never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. Sorry, using my left is still... That's okay. You can just initial in those spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine city's sprawling public transportation. Got into bed after 11 p.m. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, did some stretching. Made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for public defender work came up. Decent rates, since it was so late and so urgent. I wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. A gambler with a system must be, to a lesser or greater extent, insane. All I had to do was stay awake. Yeah, I mean, she is a criminal defense attorney. A criminal defense attorney. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Okay, where else? Here and here. Did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't actually flush with customers? Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? Would have been so easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There'd be doubts, questions, appeals, even fans, depending on his looks. More attention on HK and his crimes. More headaches. Cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in haste. With no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. I even said if they convict the wrong guy, the killer's gonna still walk free, and look! Heartbreak can just starve to death, out of sight and mind, like any other fluke in the system. Almost done. Getting involved with the case this intimately does have its risks. Hell, I might have overdone things here or there. Like lighting up a smoke inside the interrogation room. Just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. At London fellows seem more fixated on it than I would have liked. Obviously, everything turned out rosy. It's worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house, that's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful too. Funny. I didn't even know her name. Something the matter? No, sorry, it's just... I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died... Death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine she was in any pain. I can, in fact, guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground. No, I know, but... I just keep thinking she must have died angry at me. She must have died hating me. What do I have? Tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been worrying about myself. What is it? Something I noticed in the ARC's data I didn't quite understand. Piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. Maybe you can make sense of it. I did think about this. Where'd you find that? The organizer was found on the victim. She had a grasp in her hand when she died. Obviously, the police added to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained triprexisone, prescribed to help modders with phantom itches. Small tablets, and they're tricky clasps, too, for a pill organizer. It can be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did, feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. My eyes, anyway. And Morgan Thornton dead just screams. God. Oh. I picked this up today. Can't believe it. I was like, oh, this is going to be a cool little like Ace Attorney. I'm thrown for a loop. I'm so enjoying this. Long night. That was too far just now. Practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I care about his feelings. I doubt I'll ever even see him again. Oh, he's coming back in another case. Fuck. Overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why did I even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. That's what you thought? There's no way they set up an obvious flag with never see him again and he's not going to show up later. He's going to bump into Morgan in like episode... There's probably going to be 5 episodes. He's going to bump into Morgan during case 4 when she's out on like a stakeout or something and he's got a new girlfriend and a new robot arm and he's doing better. They're playing 5. If they do 5, that's okay. It was the last piece of the puzzle, but you know, I wanted to do a good thing after I found out that my character did a bad thing. There's a lot of games recently where we're playing as characters that are not telling us everything. Games where we are the untrustworthy narrator, right? We got this. There's parts of Nier. There's Heavy Rain. Like, we played a little bit of that. Not that I want to quote it as something specific that I want to look at, but we're playing a bunch of things that have a narrator that you cannot trust. Silent Hill 2. Jason! Where is it? Where's my Jason button? Jason! Jason. Where's the Jason? Hello, Jason.
It's free real estate.
Jason!
Why isn't it reacting this way? Okay, there's Jason.
Dinner.
Oh, I have to make it possible for you guys to do it. That's why. Duh. Try it now. Give me a Jason. Really? I just... This is ridiculous. I want my Jasons to work. Because they should work the same way as balls. Is it just not playing? Why is this just not playing through my stuff now? Oh. I didn't want to be fixing my audio stuff right now. This should be going through here.
Smoke weed every day.
Okay. Audio's always the troublemaker. Yeah, it's just because I wanted to go Jason.
Sean!
I think it's because of the way that the Twitch APIs broke. Which is unfortunate. Thank you for Smoke 3. Easter is 420. Easter is 420 this year. I hope everybody is leaving their cookies out for Snoop Dogg. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I gotta get stuff for Easter. Yeah, very good. I should do that. Yeah, looks like my it's having an issue connecting to the chat client. I guess it still has an issue. I should probably check my thing for updates, honestly. You're not connected from Twitch? Yeah, that's why it's broken. It's just not connected to Twitch right now. Gold earned. Okay. Guns in custody. No more bullets left. There won't be any 7th victim. There won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. Go to church, Stone? No. I don't go to church. I have better things to do on my Sunday, like sleep in. I move on to my next MO. And no one will ever know. District Attorney Rockford. Are we going to have two competing serial killer district attorneys? Or not district attorneys, but, you know. Can I try that again? I'm so fried. By all means. Counselor Morgan. Morning, noon, or night. You're always so put together. Thank you. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night? Pardon? You do white noise? Aromatherapy? Whatever you're doing, I need to steal it. God. I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters. Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's a prosecutor, a lawyer who argues for the state in court, trying to prove a defendant's guilt. Despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. I should know, as I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has a remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. It's part of what makes her good at their job and hard for me to read. Should I buy a new mattress? What have they got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma? Blood type O positive. District attorney. Assistant district attorney, not district attorney. Coffee, toffee, haute couture, sunburn, dead pixels, eye strain, eggs benedict. She likes shogi. Idol, some on stars. Cat person? Yes, yeah, I can tell. February 13th, close to mine. Not exactly mine. Oh well. Eggs, Benedict. I'm here for you. Me? Your client was a suspect in the heartbreak killings. That's my case. You must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. No. Why would I be worried about going up against you? It's always the unintended barbs with her. Fun fact, Morgan's birthday is the day after Christmas. I did notice that. And Emma's is the day before Valentine's. So she's Santa and she's the baby Cupid. You're working with those detectives? Yeah, London and the new girl, Reyes. They've been reporting to me in preparation for a trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little. Hard to kill while leaving so little behind. Reyes told you they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here? Haha, hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Too much of my mind. So I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart. Yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all. Oh? I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer? The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks? She's not using his middle name. He was found with the murder weapon. I can answer that any number of ways. His jacket. She's trying to find out what I know. This is her trying to find out what I know. I then glanced at the report. You glanced at it? No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes. Right. Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note, or whatever it was about. His dominant arm modded. It was documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made shots that clean. Not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention he's too tall for the ballistics entry angles and probably too heavy to not leave imprints. She got all that from a glance? I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed all that out the minute you walked in there. Of course. Worst part is, she's not even being sarcastic. Yep, of course it couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, so not the type to bottle things up. E didn't match the profile. Profile? Yeah, Right. Sorry. You probably never even heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. A profile is a reconstruction of the criminal's psychology based on evidence from their crimes. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Let's see what they have. I don't think they have anything on Morgan then. Trying to get at your dating profile can be right with a full-time job. Let Valentine take your reign with your automated, secure, and confidential tools. That's not what I wanted. Emma, you're a little scary. Not much to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100 the who is caught on camera. Or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it. I think I'm getting the hang of it. At least the Heartbreak Maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon. He didn't lose it. He chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can do just fine without it. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills. Were there other shootings with the same MO? No. Not that I found. Other victims that fit the description? No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people. That's true. Hell, they kind of look like me. Oh. Do they? Has Morgan been killing girls with brown eyes and brown hair to work out the fact that she has not won a single court case against this? She killed those people because she saw them and she wanted to. Yeah. I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Getting things that perfect takes practice. Toxic Yuri real? If this is real Toxic Yuri, I hope it's real Toxic Yuri. Queer Mushroom, welcome in. This is deadly and I think kind of gay. I mean, they haven't. It's not. I mean, they're in the same room together. It's just, I know the HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice, Morgan. That's why I think Heartbreak's a misnomer. You got something catchier in mind? I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. I have no idea what this game is, but if we're talking about profiling a serial killer, you're here for it? Well, I hope you're happy to do so, because you should play a game called Of the Devil. If anything, it's a test. The first episode is free, by the way. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills, guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullets or the gun. It's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying these 6 murders were just a fluke. A slip up. A mistake? Exactly, a mistake. They got too clean, too efficient, and now they got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. You talking about the crime scene? Yeah, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you said, I don't blame them. Whoever trashed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing. On the contrary, I don't follow. This was the last bullet. Their last shot. The other 5 were perfect. Thank you, Cyber Cicerus. Cicerus. Other 5 were perfect. Thank you for the tiny recap. If anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. You make them sound like a child. Childs-ish. And cowardly. And two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile tell you all that? That? No. That part's just... takes one to know one. How toxic is this Yuri going to be? This profiling. Is it some investigative technique? Episode 1 is notably larger than episode 0. Episode 0 is already this long. I'm doing 5 hours. I think I stepped away for like half an hour to walk my dogs. But like this is like 5 hours of game I'm playing right now. And it's a full Phoenix Wright-ass cool adventure. This is great. There isn't a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person that committed it. Stabbing, overkill. Points of passion, rage, lust. They probably knew their victim. Poison and guns, meanwhile, suggest they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's the things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of reoccurring themes in their stories. Detectives say HK doesn't leave evidence. How much can his crimes possibly tell you? He's diligent. Almost perfect. Highly intelligent. Painstakingly organized. With enough criminal connections to get his hands on that untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's having fun, yeah. Enjoying herself. A sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time. A lone wolf. Educated, but all her playfully lethal instincts coming to life. Probably overqualified or undervalued. So I'm not thrilled with the fact that in metaphor, then I would be, you know what I mean? Definitely. Wait. But then you would be the mouse, yeah. Texas said that HK would be insider information on optics. She would be the cat girl. Notice how HK is referred to as he? Yes, they're not sure. They assume that the Heartbreak Killer is still a he. Because the propensity towards male serial killers is much higher than for women. At least in terms of what the numbers report. I can't tell you very much about that. I listened to a bunch of podcasts about serial killers and their stuff, and they were like, yeah, there's women. There's not that many compared to the men, but there's women. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of men. Oh, so many men. So the assumption is that the Heartbreak Killer is going to keep being he. Notice how Morgan refers to HK as he? Okay, look, I assume that Morgan... Hold on. Yeah, you've got to explicitly avoid associating heartbreak with herself. You want to make sure that you don't say she, because that'd be like, oh, it could be a woman then too, and then you could be a suspect. Does that mean heartbreak's in law enforcement? Never in 10 billion years. Oh. Antisocial, independent, despises authority. It'd be like a stallion applying for a job in a merry-go-round. It'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation. Right. That's exactly how I'd put it. There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or tertiary. These types can't help but insert themselves. Insert themselves? I do not I don't do anything even resembling that. Huh. If HK is not a cop, how do they know about the blackout timing? Crime meta statistics analysis, probably. Pardon? Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays. Chart out the dips and... Sorry, technical, I know. But all the requisite data is publicly available. Morgan's a power bottom. Morgan is... fascinating to me. With a map, a spreadsheet, and a calculator, anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to. That is such an unpleasant thought, Emma. To summarize, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless, perfectionist killer who you think has no persistent MO or victim type. Good job. In a city with an 8-digit population. Well, good luck. 8 digits. Hold on. 103, 103. At least 10 billion people. Right? No, at least a billion people. A city with 1 billion people? Oh, God. I don't need luck. I only need more information. I'm sure the city would be happy to provide you with more resources. No, Morgan. I mean, I need more crime scenes. Oh. Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. This is a full-on L and Light situation. They know, and they kiss. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies. Not a very fair trade, is it? No, it isn't. If getting screwed over is a given, it's a deal with the devil. Fair enough. Woof. Okay, that rant was pretty morbid and detailed. I need to go out more, or sleep more, or sleep less but harder. You think a higher thread count would help? Don't worry about it. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom. Sorry, but that's the adversarial process. So, no hard feelings, yeah? No hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do. I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? Don't tempt me. You fall asleep face first on the table, I won't even take a picture. Okay. Just don't expect to make this a difference next time we're at each other's throats. Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation. The police will have moved on to the cases they actually stand a chance of closing. That's what people do. But Emma is different. She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bringing it up. But a private corner, that frustratingly sharp mind of hers, will continue to whittle away at it. Never finishing, but never quitting either. Morgan demonstrating how to talk to short people. I guess she's really short, compared to Morgan at least. I can't afford to take my eyes off her. Just as long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. Wow. Morgan 5'10" or something? Maybe. Which means you're gonna be living with my friend for a while. Oh, for how long? I'm sorry. I don't know. How do we know that this is an android? I guess it's telling us. There's no need to look that upset over it. My face barely moved. May as well have been a blatant pout from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that. This friend of yours. They're trustworthy? Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on. It'll be fun. Really? Really. Educational, too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Morgan is going to have babysitting. Oh, we're getting our Apollo Justice. To be continued in You're the smartest person I know, Morgan, when it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cruel to bring something like that flawed into the world. Oh god. You're a criminal defense attorney. We're at a crime scene. I think I can guess what happens next. I've never stolen anything that wasn't already compromised. Work hard and the company will have us set for life. And after, too. I can't tell you how many musicians I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat signing bonus. So it's not just a lawyer job thing. You dress like a doorman on the weekends, too. Compared to determining faults, determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. The company wheels don't stop spinning for anything. We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. But it's a million times more likely than the alternative. That Heartbreak could ever stop themselves from killing. Father said it's on him. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. When I take a job, I never half-ass it. Of the Devil, Episode 1. An Idle Mind. I can't wait to play this. What are my results? What did I get? 2 articles, 6 profiles, 18 key items, 17 evidence, 27 credits earned. Congratulations. You finished episode 0 with 27 credit. You've also unlocked concept art and bonus scenarios based on your highest score for episode 0. 27 remaining store credit to spend on the phone charms and case colors based on the highest credit you finished the episode with. Ooh, phone. Hooray. We're gonna get Teal. We're gonna get Morgan time. Emma. You know, maybe I'll get the Emma one. Yeah, that's good too. Let's look at the concept gallery. Oh, I can't just left and right to go through them, huh? No, I can't. I have to click them individually. Huh. What does this imply? This is, you know, I'm really excited about where this game is gonna go. And I think it's super hype that I've had the chance to play this tonight. God, this is so cool. Let me see the bonus scenarios. Oh, gosh. Although the design process for Emma was clearly, no, she needs to be chubbier and scruffier. They were correct. You are correct. Absolutely. She needs to look like she has not slept. But that means that she's going to be a good detective. London interview. Android has a little note for inverse of Morgan's colors. So if Morgan is the titular devil, then our android girl must be an angel. I did consider that was God that was talking to the android.
Go hang out with Morgan. They'll teach you a lot of stuff. It'd be great.
Want to interview me? It's very flattering, but aren't there any more lively folks around for you to question? I'd consider that. I'm not your first choice. You're the first one who hasn't walked away. Come to think of it, I should probably... What are your 3 sizes? Have you been opening with that? Should I not? Do you have any pets? Right, not. Would need 1 or 2 or 3 promotions to afford that kind of thing. Are pets that expensive? Only if you care about them. Maybe if I found a place closer to the park. Have you ever owned any automated dependents? Not had the chance. Would you own one if you could? Maybe one of the little vacuum ones. Anything more complicated than that is... If you find the owner's manuals intimidating, there are video-based tutorials I could show you. I'm not worried about the ease of use. Don't worry. When I say complicated, I mean... It's like what I said about pets. Fine to leave a goldfish in a tiny bowl. Time it takes to swim half a lap, they'll have forgotten what the first half looks like. Not a very tall hierarchy of needs there. Easy to please. But a cat. A dog? I don't want to be at work thinking about how bored they are sitting at home. Today's ads are a lot smarter than dogs. Well, most things. It's a very thoughtful perspective, Detective London. It's a moot point anyway. I need to get hit by a city bus to afford any of the new stuff Noble's selling. No, you're thinking of the sheltered generation. Shelters in sheltered upbringing, or shelter in place. There's a lot of uncertainty during their childhood. When they grew up, they wanted surety, safety, stability. Wanted to know that their heat would stay on in the winter. Their politics reflected that. That was all before my time. My generation's a little more, well, Generation Zen. That's what they called us in their think pieces. Even-tempered, mentally strong, and more than a little cynical. You disagree? It wasn't a matter of mindfulness. We just grew up without false expectations. Our vision wasn't clouded with illusions about impossibilities like home ownership or retirement. We realized early on that we'd be working right up until we... Unrealistic expectations. Some people call that hope. To see your friends, your classmates, drowning every day in that kind of mire. And then have to listen to people 3 times your age go on about how enlightened today's youth are. Gen Zen. It's not a name I'm particularly fond of. How long have you been in law enforcement? Too long. How long have you been with the homicide department? Not that long by comparison. Sorry, don't mean to be overly vague. If you really want to know, I spent the bulk of my career over in arson. Was it different from homicide? Flashier, I'd say. Everyone jokes that homicide solved themselves in a city with this many cameras. Meanwhile, fraud and disinfo are so entrenched in the arms tech race, they barely come up for air. But arson really hasn't changed much in the modern era. Fire's still very good at destroying evidence. You can't expect the drone net to sweep into burnt rubble and bring you back out of the culprit's fingerprints and driver's license, it's a lot of legwork, a lot of interviewing. Since more than half the culprits we caught were earners helping Megs commit insurance fraud, spent a lot of time making friends and enemies in high-rise corporate boardrooms. Megs is slang for mega corporations, which is also just slang. At what size does a corporation become mega? It's not really about gross revenue or how many countries you operate in. If you're big enough to crush people, you're a meg. An apex predator among apex predators. Like the Audacious Megalodon of the Miocene epoch. Hey, that's... Wait, is that where it comes from? So why are you working in the homicide department? What's that? Why'd you leave arson? The smoke. The smoke? Just got to a point where I couldn't stand the smell. Huh. Reyes video. Okay, you can start that now that my desktop's censored. For the record, your full name is Farah Reyes. How's that pronounced? Like how I just said it? Farah Reyes. Thank you. Your birthday is October 19th. How do you take your coffee? She makes you fetch the coffee? Figures. Let me guess. Counselor Morgan takes her coffee black... No, decaf. Like a real psychopath. Decaf, yes. Sometimes with milk. Nice. That's even worse. And you, detective? With 2 sugars and a bottle of water, now that I've got this. You mean your eye? When did you have that modded? After I learned I was getting promoted to detective. Or I realized I was getting promoted to homicide. You regret it? No. Would have wanted it for work eventually. It takes me a while longer to pay off than I expected. Well, I'm hardly the only person my age walking around with their debts socketed onto them. I see. What are your likes? My likes? Pretty broad ask, don't you think? In that case, perhaps you'd find it easier to describe your dislikes. Small plates. Oh. I hate that dinner by 1,000 cuts shit. I see. I just like cheap people. Liars. Lawyers. Lawyers? They're smug. Prideful. They build by the minute greed personified. Much like their time is so goddamn important. And they're annoying and pale and smug. Did I put down smug twice? What do you like, detective? Oh. Detective Reyes really has it bad for Morgan. Detective Reyes really has it bad for Morgan. You showed me up. You showed me up in my own police precinct. You are gonna take me out on a date one day, Missy. Like, you know, I'm feeling it. What do you like? You have hobbies, areas of interest? Well, just a slighted chunie. Yeah, she's a chunie. Automotive history, maybe. Automotive history. Oh, could you say more about that? I guess I could talk about it a little bit. The following section has been altered from its original format. It has been edited for time. Ackwood, which was supposed to be a luxury version of the pickup truck, as if there's a market for that. It's so stupid. I love it. And Istachrome, a purplish bluish chromish color. The copyright was so intense, mixing the paint was illegal for naturally aspirated. Could you imagine? I see. Do you own a car yourself? You're joking, right? You'd rather eat hot asphalt than buy an EV with my hard-earned money. She's obsessed with cars and does not own one herself. The following section has also been altered. It's been edited for time. Strong language. 4 rotors and a computer chip. That's not engineering. It's barely even programming. And as if acceleration was all that battered. Any race longer than 2 seconds and simulated engine noise. Who in their right minds? I believe that fills out your dislike section. So, what's your favorite drink? Dark and stormy is pretty good. How do you make that? Ginger beer, rum, and a lot of lime juice. Correct. You're putting together a recipe book or something? Who's your hero? That one's easy. Detective Cassim London, of course. Oh. Should I relay your sentiments to him? I'm sure he'd love to hear them. Somehow I doubt you'd get the tone right. Yeah, Dark and Stormy is great. What are your 3 sizes? Fuck you. My what? The measurements for your bust, waist, and I'm not telling you that. Where the hell are you getting these questions from? I designed my interview process to extract all the same kind of facts that are most commonly listed online. On what websites? Open source, collaborative, community focus databases. You mean like a wiki? Would you prefer to skip this question? Tell you what, if you can find a single person who does answer that question, I'll give you mine down to the millimeter. Carlos? This is like an offboarding thing, an exit interview? Yes, it is like that. Oh. Well, that's sweet of Morgan, still worrying about me. How'd she know I'd be here? She didn't. Why are you here? Oh. Hoping to get back some of my stuff that the police collected as evidence. Don't tell Morgan that, by the way. Is there something embarrassing among what they seized? No, it's just... I'm guessing as my lawyer... Is she still my lawyer? Well, as a lawyer, she probably know the exact right form to get this stuff back, but it's okay. I wanted to do this myself. Why is that? Conquering my fears, maybe? Oh yeah, he's coming back. This guy is going to become obsessed with Morgan. How could you not? Last time I came in, I was dragged in, strong-armed. Everything was going so fast, I barely spoke. I didn't stand up for myself. But able to stop and think things through clearly, well, I could never have done that with what Morgan did, but maybe I wouldn't have gotten myself dug so deep. Must have been very upsetting being accused of something so terrible. I'm sure you reacted just as well as anyone could be expected to. Thanks. I think... My arm? No, it's not back yet. At this point, I might be better off getting an upgrade rather than waiting for my current model to get fixed. Is that allowed? Yeah, it is. Can't downgrade, can't trade in, can't opt out, but Handy will let me upgrade anytime. Do you ever regret it? Getting modded? Sometimes. I have a lot of regrets. Compared to some of them, buyer's remorse is... How do you deal with your buyer's remorse? Lately I've been lying face down on the floor and exhaling. Just for 30 seconds. I count to 30. You feel better afterwards? Yeah. Oh. Fucking real, dude. I've seen the protests, but I've never... There's a lot of pains being a modder. Makes sense that people would have loud opinions, want them heard. We all made a choice. I'll sign the papers. I guess that's just it, huh? Not all of us made the choice ourselves. I got modded to help my career. Didn't need to get modded just in order to have one. A lot of people did and do. There's this guy. Worked for us 1 quarter. Probably a vet, didn't want to talk about it, so none of us asked. Good coworker, very gung-ho, cheery in a muscle-heady kind of way. It's a physical job, there's no slouches, but the fit... He wasn't just fit, he was cut and handsome. So when they kept showing up to work with more and more mods, all of them cosmetic, I didn't get it. What's he missing? What's a guy like that want to change about himself? Got offered full-time at the end of the contract, but he needed something that paid better. Turns out he'd blown every paycheck at elective surgeons. Pal of mine said in HR he'd given his insurance info to 6 different clinics in the span of 4 weeks. Word is, he wasn't even using his pain pills. Sold them to some of the drivers for extra cash. That's the worst I've ever seen it. Grafting runaway or plastophilia or whatever they're calling it now. It's not the only time I've seen it. It's not like there's no incentive for it. There are plenty of megs out there that see people hurting like that and think, there's an ideal worker. So you work for Morgan and you're... Wow. Lawyers must make more money than I realized. Wait, are you here to give me the bill? How much do I owe? You don't owe her anything. Her services were paid for by the state. I happen to be forbidden from handling any kind of financials due to an ongoing dispute about what constitutes essential office supplies. I hear ya. Diane was always the money smart one. Pretty strict, actually. Once she saw a fidget tubby on the shelf, you can see her eyes light up. You're huffing like she just won the lottery. They're ugly cute, babe. I would say, well, you're cute, babe. Believe it or not, she thought I was pretty suave. Sorry, Carlos. I do support women's wrongs, though. Morgan video. You're gonna interview me? Here? You did say I need to practice asking better questions. But right now? You said the police would be making us wait so they'd feel more important for the next 20 minutes. Is there some more productive way we could spend that time? I was planning on napping. For 20 minutes? In the lobby of a police precinct? I can fall asleep anywhere. It's one of my many hidden talents. You gonna write all this down? Could you start with your name for the record? Morgan. And your first name? You should know by now that no one calls me by my first name. That's something you have control over. I wouldn't want to force the issue. How long has that been the case? As long as I care to remember. What'd your parents call you? The tumor. That was a joke. Oh, maybe we should have started you off as someone a little bit more your speed. Better to start with than you. Someone who likes talking about themselves. You seem to talk about yourself as much as anyone else does. Or more. I tell people things about themselves. Or myself. It's different. Because you're lying? Now you're getting it. It's not very polite to lie. On the contrary, telling the truth is usually rude. I'm not sure your clients would appreciate that sentiment. We're not talking about my clients. We're talking about manners. We were supposed to be talking about you. Look, the sooner you learn this, the better. When people ask how you are or what you've been up to, they're not looking for anything nearly so heavy as the truth. They're just following the template, and the polite thing to do is for you to follow the template as well. Here, let's practice. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Way too late. The whole point is to be on autopilot. Now you force them to grab the wheel, check their mirrors, and no one's ever grateful for the extra workload. You can be very cynical about these kinds of things at times. I'm just trying to teach. I'm just trying to tell you that people are fundamentally lazy. So if you want to be a social butterfly like me, try not to make them work too hard. Fundamentally lazy? Do you think that people are fundamentally good too? Obviously. If they weren't, they wouldn't be so easy to trick. So are you planning on answering any of my questions about yourself? I've still got time to kill. Fire away. We be honest? I wouldn't want to be rude. When's your birthday? Wait, you're not trying to guess my passwords, are you? I would never commit identity fraud. Not the worst way of going about it, actually. Incredibly normal for a serial killer to declare that people are fundamentally good. I assume that Morgan doesn't let everybody know that she's a serial killer. But even when she's putting on this mask, this lie, this facade that she has on this, like, oh, I wouldn't want to be rude. Of course she's going to say that people are fundamentally good. It's what the interviewer wants to hear. It's what's going to bring the conversation forward without providing any additional info. People are inherently good, but if you don't count yourself as a person, not saying Morgan does, but I'm saying, what if you do? What if you don't count yourself as a person? Would you think that you are fundamentally good? And if you're trying to do good things, even if Morgan does kill this many people, in some way Morgan is trying to atone for this by doing good. Is it that Morgan needs to do bad in order to do good, or else it... Or is it that she's cocky and thinks that she's gonna be a great murderer? I wonder. 26, it's almost Christmas. But almost Christmas means it's not Christmas! Oh. My bot broke. Here, I'll do this. There we go. Statistically, Morgan isn't even that bad. I mean, on the scale of nation states and mega corporations, she's not even a drop in the bucket. No, she's not a drop in the bucket. However, she did shoot a man's girlfriend and did get him off the charges. So she just wanted to do it. God forbid women have hobbies. You know, do the gods themselves forbid this woman from having hobbies? Your insights are always so original. Did you receive your presents on your birthday or on Christmas? What do you mean? Morgan never received a present for her birthday or for Christmas. Did you not celebrate Christmas in your family? No, why would we celebrate that thing that has Jesus attached to it? A cross in my house? We did. Oh. Did your parents give you presents on the 25th or the 26th? Well, I got Christmas presents on Christmas, and I got birthday presents on my birthday. Oh, you had a rich family. Obviously. Are all your questions going to be this strange?
Ask me about my wiener.
Please ask me. My wiener. It needs to be asked about. What's your favorite color? Red? Are all your questions going to be this juvenile? If you prefer something weightier, do you volunteer? No. Do you donate? Yes. What causes do you donate towards? Endangered wildlife. The fact that no, endangered wildlife has a chance to die out. Humans are a species that has billions of people within this city alone. What's that face? It's on auto renewal. I just haven't canceled it yet.
The polyester pill!
Jason! I don't know why my thing is broken. Damn. Can you tell me? My Jason's not been working like all week. All week it's Tuesday. What is this? This is called Of the Devil. This is a Ace Attorney style murder mystery game, and it's really fucking cool. You mentioned a mentor figure before. No way I ever called her a mentor. A busybody, maybe. World record holder for billable hours spent under the influence. Oh.
Jason!
There we go. Or just, you know, the cougar from hell. She had rubbed off on me anyway, and I have hives. Cyberpunk neo-noir mystery game where you play as a criminal defense attorney. Draws on Ace Attorney and Danganronpa. Thank you. Yes, that is correct. See, you're quicker with that description than I am. Is she a smoker? Is she a smoker? Of course she's a smoker too. Necro, welcome to the show, bud. What'd you tell me? That's private. You value your privacy very highly, don't you? Or like everyone else doesn't value it enough. Water's rising. World's getting smaller. Literally. Less real estate to go around. And everything's connected to everything else. These days, just wanting some time or space to yourself is considered selfish. Or worse. Only the guilty have something to hide. I don't like that phrase. Laws like the Mob Act made it so anonymity and privacy are luxuries. Privileges reserved for the privileged. And if anyone below that tax bracket tries to claw away a little bit of it for themselves, well, it can only be because they're guilty, right? Is that why you became a criminal defense attorney? To defend people's innocence? That's private. All right. Wow. Very cool. Of the Devil. And the title screen changed. And the title screen changed. Of the Devil? Of the Devil. Oh my goodness, of the Devil. I can't wait to play more of this. Again, I think if I can get Monday off, I'm going to be playing I'll be playing it this weekend. I'll be getting more hands on it over the next couple days. This is fucking... See, I'm playing a lot. I'm saying this a lot. I'm playing a lot of games with unreliable narrators and stories that involve like trickery and multi-universes and things. And like we are... I didn't even intend to like... I was like, I'm going to take a look at this and see if it's good because I heard it's pretty good. This is fucking great. I didn't, because you never expect. Morgan of the Devil is a fascinating character, and I think we need more of her in the future. Of the Devil will continue. Of the Devil will continue. This needs to. The character designs and characterization and writing is incredibly good. The visual direction adds so much. The different poses, the different like sprites and artwork and things that they've done for the game. It looks all just so good. Impeccable. Fantastic. And all this cool menuing. It's all like diegetic. This is great. This is a very special game. I think if you have a chance, you should download this game because episode 1 is free. Here, I'm gonna go get the link to the store page. There you go. Episode 1 for Of the Devil is free. I highly suggest checking it out. Because, I mean, I just spent the last 6 hours playing it, and I had a great goddamn time. Another sleeper hit, a game I did not expect. You know? Something that came out of nowhere and ended up being real cool. Episode 0 is free and formerly a demo. Episode 1 is a currently available paid option. Thank you. I currently own Episode 1. Episode 1 is currently on sale as well, I believe. Let me check. It also might not be. No, it's not on sale. I think it was just on sale. Regardless. It's cheap. And it's going to be longer than this 6 hours that we just did. And if you enjoyed episode 0, I mean, play it for yourself. Maybe pick up episode 1 and go through that when you have a chance. There is a lot under here that I am willing to explore, but I just don't have as much time as I would like in terms of scheduling, especially since today was supposed to be the day where I played Castlevania Chronicles again, but I decided not to because I was like, I really want to play this today. And then Castlevania Circle of the Moon is going to be next week then, if that's okay. I guess I'll only do 1 week of Castlevania Chronicles since I played another episode of this. You're so deviled. We're deviled. I can't believe we morgued everywhere. When Morgan.
Goodbye, everyone. I'll remember you all in therapy.
Goodbye. Deviled egg sandwich. I like a deviled egg sandwich. I think a deviled egg sandwich is a good idea. Morgan Monday Tuesdays. It could be Morgan Monday Tuesdays. We're doing Metal Gear Monday. Actually, here, I'll pull my schedule up. We're doing Metal Gear Monday. We're in the middle of Police Not... Other way. In the middle of Police Knots now, actually. I'm closing in on the second... I guess the middle to end of the second act in Police Knots. So I'm getting further into the game. No, a deviled egg is different than egg salad. You can make egg salad, but if you're making deviled egg sandwich, you have to take the deviled egg halves and put them on the bread and then put the toast on top and eat them that way. Or you can make deviled eggs and mix them in with your egg salad in order to have a larger egg bit. Also, what you can do with an egg salad sandwich is if you go and make jammy eggs. You know how to make a jammy egg? You undercook it a little so the yolk stays soft, and then you put that into your egg salad. You get it to goosh a little when you cut into it and bite into it. It's good. It's a good idea. On Tuesday, next Tuesday, we're going to be playing Castlevania. We're playing more Castlevania. I didn't mean to do devil stuff today, but I guess we did. We're doing Castlevania. It's not Chronicles. It's Circle of the Moon. We're doing Circle of the Moon because Circle of the Moon is the game that I have coming up next on my list. Wednesday, we're playing Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 is we're continuing our game with me and my wife and our friend from our neighbor, Jote, who is also in chat. Not necessarily all the time, but a fellow chat member. And Mog, if Mog is here too. Mog is also playing. Or Mog might not. I don't remember what's happening. Thursday, we don't have it listed on this schedule. We're coming back for Monster Hunter Rise. I like Monster Hunter. And depending on if I'm going to get Friday off anyway, so I'm going to probably play a bunch of Monster Hunter. So we're going to do that. That sounds fun. And then on Friday, we're coming back for Near Replicant, leading into Easter weekend with some beautiful, fantastical lies. More games that have lies in them, and we'll always appreciate just how many lies these games will feed us, because by the time that we get to the end, we'll say, yes, we loved it, and we were paying attention to it the whole time. We are going to go right out to our friend Lana. I haven't went to hang out with Lana in a minute, but Lana's going and playing through Mass Effect. We're gonna go say hi. I guess that's all I got for tonight. Remember to commit to that bit, because that bit's going to set you free. If you have not got a chance to follow before you get out of here, please do, because I am trying to get to 900 followers by, soon. And if you can help me do that, that would be absolutely god-dang excellent, because I'll be playing Of the Devil, along with all of the other games that I listed on that list there, again, really soon, and we're going to keep having fun. I guess that's all I got for you tonight. Toast to leave you, but grilled to meet you? No. Whatever? I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't know what else to tell you. That's all I got. I'll see you on Wednesday. See you for Wednesday. So it sounds like it's going to be Wednesday. Okay. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.